what's your stat pack of the week just to bring the Debbie down on the show here today, man?
No, this is not a Debbie Downer. This is not.
Oh, okay,
I
not.
wasn't
Okay,
doing that.
good.
I was just saying hypothetically.
I see. I
Um,
see.
so two numbers here for you guys. First is 13. That is the number of draft picks over the last 2 years. That is the most over a 2-year stretch. I know
Did
we
you get
kind of
that,
hinted at.
Greg? 13 drafts picks over the last 2 years. Did you
Yeah,
get
and you
that?
got a couple others that didn't get drafted that are still signed, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
I didn't count those. Those guys.
Sure.
I didn't count them because not as like a knock on them or anything. Just it's
Mhm.
hard to keep
No,
up with them. They don't show up on
absolutely.
the baseball reference page, so I don't want to count the undrafted guys this year and not in previous
Mhm.
years. So
Mhm.
13. Obviously, they've had some big numbers in the past. I believe the highest prior to this was 11 in 17 and 18. Um, the other thing too is this is the most who have signed. So they've had a few in the past that have got up to the 12, 13 number, but not everybody has signed, right? We talked about Evan Justice did not sign as a sophomore. Josh McClain, Brock Deathridge did not sign when they were drafted as juniors. And when the draft was 40 rounds, that was a more common thing. Now it's a 20-round draft. We talked about Chris McHugh. Chris McHugh is going to sign. All of these guys are going to sign. So it's going to be 13 total over the last 2 years. The other number that I'm going to be watching here, Greg, over the next 2 weeks, from the financial perspective, the number to beat, which let me ask you guys this: 10 million between Carlos Rodón and Trea Turner. Will that number ever be beaten by an NC State group of? And actually, let me rephrase: it's approximately 10 million. I don't have it
Yeah.
down to the dollar,
Yeah.
but it also includes Brett Austin. So Rodón was 6.5 million, Turner was 2.9, and then Brett Austin was a shade under 500,000. Do you think NC State will ever have a draft class that cumulatively tops those three guys? And that was a small draft. That was only 3 guys, right? We're
Yeah.
used to State having a number
Yeah.
of guys. That was one of their smaller classes, but with those big guys at the top, obviously that
Yeah.
got them to million.
For a little bit of context that are people that are listening, like $10 million was going to the number 1 draft pick this year as the slot value. The slot value for Jacob Duden at 83 was just under $1 million. So if you look at it in those numbers, and it drops drastically from like 10 to 5 is like it cuts in half. And so you're really going to have to get some heavy hitters up in the top part of your draft class. And so I
But it
say
may only take one.
it may only take one, right? But you need a guy in the top 5. I don't know if State's recruiting at that level right now. Um,
Hmm.
Not to say that can happen.
Yeah.
I'm one of those guys that I believe in records being broken, and so I'm gonna say yes, it will be at some point.
Yeah.
This decade?
Well,
Well, as salaries are going up, it makes it easier. So I will say that much, right?
I would keep an eye on Mikey Ryan. I
I
really
think
like
Mikey has a chance to be really special next year. 100%
not
agree.
that Mikey Ryan is, again, you compare him to like Rock Chalowski, Von Lackey. Like I don't think he's in that category.
He could be
But
top 15 though.
if he could get up into the top half of the first round, that's where Trea Turner went.
Mhm.
That's where Will Wilson went. You talked about
Yeah.
it. Like that's gonna
Yeah.
be, I think that's 3, 4, $5 million range. And then
Yeah.
do you have Anderson Nance in the back half of the first round, right? That feels aggressive, but again, that's kind of the point. It only takes one guy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Layton, what do you think?
yeah, no, I mean, listen, obviously the word ever is the key word there.
Right.
I think for you, Ethan, on that is who knows really where things are going to go with baseball. I mean, it can go a myriad of different ways here, but
Mhm.
I mean, as well too, though. I mean, I think also too. I mean, with Carlos Rodon and Trea Turner, the careers they've had in the major leagues have been absolutely phenomenal. Trea Turner at one point being considered probably the best shortstop in baseball. At a period of time. So like there's that's quite a feather to put in your cap here, regardless of the money that's made. Now, I know that the money being made is a huge pull, especially from a recruiting standpoint. To be able to say, like our guys right now are able to pull in X amount of millions of dollars in MLB contracts. That could be quite a statement if you have some solid numbers there. So, but just like you were saying, it's kind of a number like what I'm thinking through in my head Greg, by you talking about how the first overall pick is slot worth is about $10 million. You know, can Carlos and Trea kind of, Brett Austin kind of, could they have equaled up to that $10 million point? Thinking about, okay, like, the first overall pick versus Trea Turner, Carlos Rodón, and, it's just like a trade step point. Where would I stand with it? Again, it's a tough question there, but yeah, no, I mean, like, I think it just, like Greg was saying, with how the fact that numbers have gone up, just with how sports is going, with inflation, you name it, you never know. Hey, listen, there it could be 10, 15 years from now that fifth round draft pick is getting paid $5 million, out the gate. You never know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I you mentioned the career earnings, which is interesting. Do you guys have a guess? I'm really burying the lead here with my last number for the stat pack, but Rodón and Turner's career earnings. Do you guys have a guess?
I would probably go like 350, 375 million.
Oh, combined.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought that's what you were asking for.
No, that is a good a good guess. What was it, Greg? 300?
I said 350. Yeah.
350.
I would say it's a little bit high. I would say 280.
That's lower. Oh, you said my number was too high.
Correct. I think it's 280.
So Turner is currently at 154 million. And he's got a very long contract. Turner is going to eclipse 300 million by the end of his contract. Rodón, so I believe, Greg, you were correct. Rodón is at 148. So they're pretty much identical. And Rodon's contract, obviously, he's got 2 years left with the Yankees. He is at 148, and he won nearly 149. So he's not going to pass. He's never going to catch up to Trea, obviously.
Sure.
But he is set to eclipse. Where did that go? I lost it. He is set to eclipse 200 million, I believe, by the end of his contract.
It's crazy.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and the beauty about that is baseball's fully guaranteed, so they're going to see every single one of those dollars. It's not like football.
That's right.
All right, excuse me. Yeah, football. Sorry.
All right. So my second number is related to Turner and Rodón. That again, I keep burying the lead here. Is the total signing bonus for these 7 players? So Turner and Rodón set the bar at 10 million. The State had another year at 5 million. Do you guys have I don't know if you guys are going to get this one. 5 million. Do you guys have a guess at the year that happened?
Man,
it's relatively recent. It's not.
Yeah,
super
I was gonna.
recent, but
Yeah, I was gonna say like 2010, 11.
No, more recent.
No, not that far.
Okay.
I'm thinking like maybe like the Patrick Bailey year.
That was it. Yeah, Bailey and Sweeney. It was only 2 guys. It was the COVID draft, but Bailey signed for 3.8 and Sweeney signed for 1.2. So they're right at about 5 million. Greg,
so the numbers this year, the numbers this year are going to be pretty good.
Very, very close. Very close.
Because Ty should be about 2.5 million, I think, is what I saw.
Yeah, he's at 2.18. Duden is a shade under $1 million.
Yeah.
Marone is a shade over 500. Nixon is a shade under 500.
Yeah.
So that would get you to about 4 million. And then you have Sherman Johnson at 283, Consiglio at 202, and then whatever Chris McHugh signs for. It's going to be tight. I do wonder if Ty Head being a draft eligible sophomore and having an extra year of leverage,
he might squeeze a little bit more.
He might squeeze a little bit more. Could he get up to 2.5? But otherwise, this is going to be the top. This is going to be the third best year, I should say. Actually, let me check
volume though.
Year.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
This is the volume year for sure. And those other years have all been. It's been 1 or 2 guys. Well, 2 guys carrying the water pail, so to speak.
Well, and again, like I said,
like you said, is the depth.
Yeah, and again, if you have another year like this in a year or 2, as the numbers keep going up, you have guys maybe slotted just a little bit higher, it's definitely doable. it just depends on the strategy, how you get there.
Right. So Ty Head went 46th overall.
Mhm.
Jacob Cozart went 48th 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And Cozart signed for 2.05, which I believe was higher than his slot, if I'm not mistaken. I remember being like, wow, he did very, very well for himself.
What about
And
Gino?
so Ty
Because they had the same number
so Gino
a year earlier.
A year earlier. Yeah, he also went 48th. He was 1.78.
So look at that. In 1 year, it jumped.
Yeah. So that'll be something to keep an eye on here. Can they get past the 5 million number? It's going to be very tight.
Gino was a senior, right?
Yes, no. No, Gino was a junior.
Was he a junior?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 1 year at Charlotte and 2 at State.
Okay, I couldn't remember if he had 2 at Charlotte.
Yeah, it's going to be very tight. I would guess they probably come up just short of the 5 million number, but it's going to be close. They've got a shot to.
Yeah, because I think, like, again, I talk about baseball, and my buddy who I work with is like, so how does the MLB draft work? I said, it is the most complicated sport there is when it comes to draft value and overslotting, underslotting, rounds 12 plus, rollover money from previous years, pool money for 3 years. Like, it's so confusing.
Right.
Well, but also too is, but see, the other issue too with it though, Greg, is the fact that, like with the NFL, the guy that's going number 1 overall, you're 99% going to see them on the field playing it for that team next year. Number 1 overall, even first round draft picks, they still have to go through the process,
it's very rare. It's very rare to jump from. I mean, you saw it back in the day a little bit more often, but it's still, even for like a number 1 draft pick, especially a high school kid. Like this year, the kid from UCLA goes number 1. He'll probably make the majors in like probably 2 to 3 years. Ideally, that's what they would like. But the kid from Tampa Bay, it's probably going to take him 5 or 6 years. These are long-term investments in some cases.
Well, so to my point is that, basically, in my opinion, that's what kind of takes off a little bit of the sparkle to the MLB draft, is the fact that these guys that you're seeing, you're not going to see them on your TV, in, like you said, probably at least 2 or 3 years from now. And by then you're going to be like, oh yeah, I remember that guy, kind of deal. Like, and so it's, it's a little bit different than NFL draft where, again, if you're getting drafted in top 10, you're going to see them playing on your TV here in a couple months. It's
when Ethan is done with this stat pack, I'm going to need a on the fly what grinds my gears.
Well, I mean, Ethan, do you have anything else to add here before we jump over to it?
That's all I got. 13 draft picks over the last 2 years, $5 million signing bonus collectively for these guys to surpass.
There you go. All right, let's jump on over grind my gears.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Greg, the floor is all yours, my friend.
The MLB draft grinds my gears. I hate that I had to change the channel 3 freaking times to go find like where the draft goes from NBC to Peacock to MLB Network. Oh, and then we got to take a 30-minute break between rounds 3 and 4. Like, what the hell is that? Like, who takes a break? Like, is there a union break? Like, they have this in the contract where they get 30 minutes to take a break. Like, most absurd thing ever. All right, I'm done. I only need 30 seconds.
Well,
you guys can digest that if you want.
Yeah. Well, and hey, listen, I think, you at this point, you're so close to football season. I think it's almost an NC State of us if we don't mention football, at least in some point. Again, I think it's just a reminder of today's day and age. CJ Bailey in his quote, talking about how he heard during the offseason before he made the decision to come back to NC State from many different programs and heard them out, things like that. Again, I get it. Like, technically, technically it's not illegal, but it
is illegal.
Well, okay. I mean,
it's not illegal.
If it was
correct,
Greg, then
correct. No, Ethan said it right.
Go ahead.
Ethan, say it again.
It's not illegal to talk to the agent.
Yeah. Well, because again, that's my thing, Greg. It's like it's been publicly said. If it was truly illegal, you would not be publicly saying it without any kind of backlash at all about it. Now, I think that the problem is also too, okay, well, who are these programs that are talking? Well, you're going to have a hard time finding that, without spending some time tracking down with the agent, et cetera, whatever. But,
at the end of the day, he phrased it wrong. He
Correct.
should have said, my agent has heard from blah, 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 instead of I've heard from blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Again, nothing. It's probably just, slip of the tongue, Freudian slip, whatever.
Sure.
But
It's semantics. Yeah.
it's semantics. Exactly right. Like, did he probably hear from them? Probably so.
Probably.
Officially, my agent heard from so-and-so. That's probably how that shit goes down. Pardon my language. Sorry, what time are we at?
What time is it?
Yeah, 9:30,
Greg.
close enough.
Greg, there's kids.
Yeah. Anyway, I apologize.
yeah.
I normally, but
No.
yeah, you're 100% right, Ethan. Like,
Again,
You
so
guys
for me,
can,
so for me,
you go,
and Ethan, I'll let you finish it out, and we can move on to tweets of the week here. So my grinds my gears is just more of that. It's just unfortunately another reminder of we're in a new era. We truly are in a new era, and it is what it is. So go ahead, Ethan.
do you guys think that NC State was the highest bidder for CJ Bailey?
No.
I do.
Really?
I did. Yeah.
Really?
I don't buy the clip this. I don't buy the CJ Bailey turned down Miami and Alabama, whoever else. I don't buy it. I think NC State was the highest bidder, and I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, CJ Bailey's not loyal. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, there's a reason he's coming back. And so I'm with you, Greg. I think NC State was the highest bidder for CJ Bailey, and that's why he came back.
Well, and Greg, I'll let you add in, but like for me, it's just I immediately said no because I'm just never going to envision NC State being the school that is the top bidder for a very high draft prospect in quarterback of all positions in CJ Bailey. I just can't wrap my head around that.
I mean, they did it for Darion Williams.
But yeah.
Well,
but I also don't think that. Look, no offense. I love CJ Bailey, by the way. I've had several conversations with him. Absolutely love him. So I don't want people to take this the wrong way. I don't think that he's as high a draft prospect as people are saying at this moment, but he 1,000% has his his opportunity to play himself into that conversation this year.
Yeah,
100%. 100%.
Yeah, it's what could he become, not what is he right now.
Correct. 100% agreed. And he's a great player. I mean, he's a really good player. Like, would he be drafted today if the draft were to be tomorrow? Yes, I do. I don't think he would be in the first 3 rounds, but he definitely is drafted.